An ICE agent kills Renee Good in Minneapolis, and MAGA instantly starts chanting domestic terrorists like that magically makes it justified. Minneapolis is like, nah, run that video back. And the streets respond. Is this law enforcement or propaganda with a gun?
Russia can't finish a war in years. America can end one overnight. Without Congress. So how much power should one president have?
So Trump is back on the we need Greenland thing, talking about acquiring it like it's a jacket he saw online. And now he's threatening tariffs on NATO allies unless they stop opposing it. Is this foreign policy or a hostage note written on a trade agreement?
America believes in merit. Work hard, play by the rules, and you rise. But when merit actually started working, the rules changed. So what are we really defending?
This is the state of the culture.
We're just here to ask.
Is it time to protest?
Or is it time to riot?
Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right, far right, far right.
Protest, protest, protest. Protest, protest, protest.
If he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
I'm not gonna let these motherfuckers rewrite January 16th or January 6th. Like, I don't have the footage in my fucking intro, okay? Fuck that shit. You're not rewriting what I actively show proof of. Welcome to episode 6 to Protest and Riot podcast. A podcast where we give you the facts and debate about how we should react to them. I'm your host, Nelson, joined by my co-host,
Javier.
Ice Lover. I told him last episode I was going to find out a different way to call him some kind of black Republican.
Nice try. Ice Lover.
Next time I'm going to call you Latino for Trump.
Listen, that'd be so ironic. I like him so much until they pick me up. My name is Javier. Damn.
Subscribe to the Patreon because after an hour, we tell you free niggas bye. Call to action is complied with. That's all I'm doing for now. 32 to 36. I've realized that's the cult percentage. Whenever I look at a lot of the studies that come out about Trump, like his approval ratings or how many people agree with him, it's always that window of 32 to 36%.
Right.
So I've come to the realization that like if like the Epstein files actually got released instead of the 1% that we get the rest of the 99%. And unredacted, it tells us that, Trump touched little girls. I think 30%, the 32 to 36% of America would be like, what's really wrong with touching younger women?
Right. Right.
I'm 100% convinced that they would change their minds. And J.D. Vance would be the front runner for it. He'd be like, what? I mean, haven't you touched a girl before? J.D. Vance will come out there and say that.
But you know who would be a quiet cosign?
Who?
Your boy.
Marco Rubio?
Yeah, he absolutely
Why you?
would.
Damn, nigga.
Yeah.
We haven't even started. You already like.
I got smoke from Marco Rubio. Yes, I do.
Jesus.
Yes, I do.
I would have understood more if you said like Stephen Miller, because I fucking hate Stephen Miller.
Yeah, everybody hates him.
Yeah,
Lizard man.
I hate Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller is my most hated person in the administration. The most hated person aligned with the administration is Stephen Miller's wife.
Right.
I hate her more than I hate Stephen Miller.
I think I dislike Drunk Pete the most.
Nope. He's not even top 4.
I don't know.
He's behind Chrissy Nome, Caroline Leavitt, and Pam Bondi.
Maybe I just hate that he's Secretary of State.
That's what
it is. I'm
sorry,
Secretary of the Defense. Yeah.
You will put some respect on his name. He's the
Yeah.
Secretary of War, okay?
Yeah.
He's the Sequa.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all can say that if y'all want. I'm
Sequa.
Secretary of Defense for me. Yeah. Sequa.
Secretary of the Department of Defense. He's probably 5th on that list.
Yeah.
Of top.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I was looking at the approval ratings for all of the people under administration. Apparently, for some reason, RFK was sitting at the least disapproved out of everybody in the administration.
Really?
But then he did the food pyramid thing.
Yeah.
And he plummeted right back down. This motherfucker told us that steak is as good as vegetables and you should have the least of grains.
Where did he go to school?
And whole milk is up on the top with the veggies.
Yeah.
Whole milk. Not even skim.
I honestly really don't even have nothing to say to that.
Whole milk.
Like,
not almond.
Y'all, this is our
whole milk.
This is our nation's health. Y'all don't care about that anymore. If you don't care about that anymore, I don't know what's going on.
Whole milk.
Shit. That boy gonna have us. We're gonna be. America's trying to trim down now. Damn, we gonna be overweight.
When you come from a nature of like breastfed motherfuckers, I guess like whole milk is crazy though, especially since humans are the only people that don't, or that humans are the only people that drink the milk of a different breed.
I'm about to say something ignorant because I'm just like, I'm looking at him. I'm just like, well, what did you miss out on?
Vaccines.
Must have been. Must have been.
It was vaccines. He missed out on vaccines.
Man. I know that's not what causes your aphasia, but my God, at least I'm still more qualified to be HHS secretary
wow.
than you are, bro.
And that, it's funny. That's why I'd be like, y'all be talking about this DEI shit. I don't know what's more DEI than Pam Bondi, Caroline Leavitt, and fucking Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem coming out here with
the whole administration.
Freaking porn star level makeup.
Yeah, it's caked on.
Yeah.
I don't usually talk about other women's makeup, but Lord, even I can say it because my wife has been talking about it. All right?
I can say it because I'm a misogynist when need be. Say when need be, not all the time, okay? I got to off switch to that shit. But when need be.
Terrible.
And the only bad part about Pam Bondi and Caroline Leavitt is sometimes I can't tell the difference between the two.
They do, like, mind you of one another, right?
Yeah.
My wife actually asked me, she was like, what was she before this? I was like, she was Kristi Noem. She was a senator.
Oh, yeah, Kristi, yeah.
And she was like, how did she get elected? Oh, you gotta ask those people.
You know what's funny, though? The one person that I feel like I've talked about since we brought this podcast back, the one person I've talked about the least, and I'm actually super surprised, is my #1 Russian propaganda machine, Tulsi Gabbard. I feel like I haven't said a fucking thing about her this entire like run of podcasts.
Yeah,
because she's been shut out.
Right.
But like,
but again, I got my eye on her. I got my eye on Marco Rubio.
Fuck this guy.
And I'm not letting any of them off the hook.
I agree
for the chaos that they've caused. Right?
I agree.
It was all cute the first time around when people were like, "Oh, I'm joining the Trump administration to make sure things are steady," right? But now he has all the sycophants around him, people who only agree with him. And you know what?
I don't know why these people think they have
I'm not letting them off the hook.
I don't know why these people think they have a career after this. Like,
we'll get into it, but your boy Marco Rubio is trying.
Stop! You're not going to spend this whole episode associating me with Marco Rubio, okay?
It's your boy. But no. To
give y'all some context, the only reason Javier keeps bringing up the fact that me and Marco Rubio have a relationship of some sorts is because I told him that somebody said Marco Rubio is the one person in the administration that realizes he's going to hell compared to everybody else who's like unknown that they are doing anything bad. Marco Rubio is the only person that knows he's doing bad and is going to hell for it.
Marco Rubio's level of ambition is outmatched. And this is coming from a very ambitious person myself. But my God, and I'm not fanboying on the ambition part, but I'm very impressed of how intelligent and shrewd this man is, right? Don't like his tactics, but he has some talent, right?
He facetiously says, all right?
Yes.
Don't
No,
buy.
that's
You're
why-
saying it so facetiously.
That's why I'm getting on him. He's the one that's dangerous. Real talk. Real talk. He has no shred of identity. None, except for the fact that he will do anything he needs to do to be where he wants to be.
I mean,
That's Donald Trump too,
yeah, I'm about to
right?
say,
But
yeah.
like, but
I'm about to
it's
say that.
it's
This is JD Vance as well. Actually, it's all of the administration.
JD Vance is we'll get into that.
All right. But yeah, the 32 to 36% is what I've realized is like, no matter what happens, those will be the sick events.
Yeah.
That will always be the percentage of people that will never, you can't tell them anything. And if Trump changes his mind tomorrow, they will also change their mind.
That's why it's a losing move.
Agreed. But, and I said this to my coworkers. I said, if you think 2025 was a bad year or like a lot of crazy shit was happening, I'm like, this dude is going to do nothing but ramp it up.
Yeah.
2026 is going
Yeah.
to be a crazier year. I want to remind you that the day of this recording, it is January 18th, okay? As the day of this recording.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen more in January
Yeah.
than we have seen the whole last quarter of last year.
Yeah.
In 1 month. The Renee Good, the Greenland, the Venezuela. Like, bro, this is
Yeah.
all stepping into 2026.
White supremacist theme songs for DHS commercials.
MLK Day not getting a pass day. Conversations they probably don't know, but MLK Day and Juneteenth are the only days this entire year that don't get pass days. Or for those of you who don't know, pass day is like the day that leading up to a military or a federal holiday, there's like a liberal leave or a active duty off day.
Right.
Before New Year's or like around New Year's, either New Year's, the day after New Year's or the day before New Year's Eve, or like the day, like the Friday before President's Day, which falls on a Monday, the Friday would be a pass day, which means federal employees don't have to come in or they're allowed liberal leave, which means at least 90% of the staff can take off.
Right.
MLK Day doesn't get that. And Juneteenth won't get that.
Yeah.
Because the past days, you get that at the beginning of the year. So
Don't worry,
yeah.
we'll go back to normal eventually. Well, not normal, better. We'll go.
See you niggas in 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, this year is going to be crazier than last year was.
Yeah, I agree. And
So-
we'll get ready for the ride, right?
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know the first time, I know him and I always talk about 45, but the amount of short memory that I experience on a day-to-day basis
It's wild.
is absolutely crazy.
Wild.
I'm like, you almost got me to the point where I'm questioning did I exist before?
What was my reality or real reality?
right. I just appeared whatever age I was at. I think I was whatever age, 30 in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. So yeah, I became 30 and appeared 2020.
Like
Yeah.
I don't have any comparison points. No,
Right,
my nigga.
right,
Y'all
right.
doing all these
Right,
Instagram
right.
flashbacks on 2016.
Yeah,
You know what I remember the most about 2016? Obama.
yeah,
Obama.
yeah.
Obama.
And how we long for him to come back, but he can't. But if Trump is
Or he can.
if Trump gonna try it,
Obama
right?
should try it too.
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah. Unfortunately for y'all, you cannot dig up Ronald Reagan.
I was crazy. He was the devil. Boondocks got it right every time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry, I had to do a little icebreaker shit there. 32 to 36% is always going to side with him.
Yeah.
Let's roll into the topic that we have to roll into. I feel like I need to preface this. Nope. Fuck it. We'll just get into it and then we'll talk about it afterwards. An ICE agent killed Renee Good in South Minneapolis on January 7th, and it set the city off. ICE and DHS folks were pushing that she tried to run over an agent, framing while tried to run over an agent, framing while local officials, activists, and eyewitness reporting are disputing this story and pointing out that they saw what the video shows. And of course, MAGA goes straight to the cheat code, label her a domestic terrorist, so nobody has to feel weird about what happened. Minneapolis isn't buying it. So the response in the streets is what happens when people think the story is being written for them instead of with them. Is this a protest or is this a riot? I gotta hear what you say first.
Everything today for me is going to be a riot.
Okay, all right.
For the first time into protest, into riot
We got 'em,
history,
boys.
everything today is going to be a riot. It's absolutely a riot for me.
Mm-hmm.
And who knew? Well, it's not who knew, but Minnesota is ground zero now.
Yes.
Minnesota is going to be ground zero for what's to come.
Yes, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this entire situation. First of all, I think this, in again, 32 to 36%, don't see it. But obviously, the American people are on the side of Renee Good.
Yeah.
I think this was an eye-opening event for America because this wasn't a black person that got shot.
Yeah.
This wasn't a Hispanic person that got shot. This wasn't even a white man that got shot. This was a white woman.
Yeah.
You Karens are no longer safe. I hate to say it in such crude fashion, but the reality of the situation is the Karen was the most protected, second most, sorry. Shout out to the Jews. The Karens were the second most protected. That was so unnecessary. But the Karens were the second most protected community in all of America.
Right.
And they're shooting Karens in the face. Not to say she had Karen energy, but she was a white woman.
Right.
So we're holding the stigma at base level. And then there's this almost insurmountable level of cover-up that's going on with it.
Yeah.
When have you ever heard in the history of law enforcement that the FBI said, nah, we're not working with the local police?
It doesn't happen.
It does not fucking happen.
Movies, maybe. But that
On God, that's literally only in movies.
and because I know some of you folks' only education is movies, right? But in real life, the state always coordinates with the federal
Correct.
government.
Now the FBI will always usually lead if the FBI is involved,
Depending on jurisdiction.
Correct.
You're right.
But usually they will lead the situation and keep the local law enforcement along.
It's a reason you do that.
Correct. So
Yeah.
the fact that they basically shut them out completely and said
Mhm.
they will share no information with them whatsoever screams to me cover up. On the highest level of comparable to Jeffrey Epstein.
They're not even trying. They're not even trying anymore, right? They're not even trying. This is just a straight cover up.
Yes,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
And then obviously they looked at that body cam footage because obviously DHS was the one that released the body cam footage. And my initial reaction was, and I was wrong for this, for anybody that keeps in contact with me on a personal level, I was wrong for this about the body cam thing. I was like, if he had a body cam, this would have all been so. Actually, he didn't have a body cam.
You did?
No, he didn't.
Oh, he did?
He had his phone.
Yeah.
The footage that they released, I don't know why they have these ICE enforcers walking around with phones as their, well, no, I do know why. Because the Palantir?
Yeah.
Because of the Palantir tracking, how they're getting all the biometric scannings of everybody in America. But I should be required to walk around with body cam footage. And the reason why the fact that that's not a thing already sounds so perturbed to me is the fact that ICE got more funding than the military did from the bill last year.
Yeah.
The big, beautiful bill.
Yeah.
They got a higher amount of funding than the United States military.
They're also recruiting heavily.
Like a motherfucker. What is it, 46 days of training? It's like a 46 or 47 day training period.
Right.
But
yeah, let's shut down the Department of Education, but let's
beef up ICE, but
Yeah.
also not give them what they need.
right. But
Yeah.
also let's derail a comprehensive immigration bill in the Senate because you wanted to run on it.
Trump will pass no good bills during his entire time as president.
No, he won't.
It will all be executive orders.
Right.
But the fact that ICE is walking around with cell phones, obviously, because Palantir. If you don't know, Palantir, I think it's spelled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look into Palantir because them niggas are scanning everything.
Yeah.
And they are creating a database. And they are openly telling you that they're creating a database of everybody.
Shout out to the states who don't want to cooperate with handing over voter information. Shout out.
That part.
Yeah.
So watching him get hit, and I'm like, bro, you're still holding your phone. And then we watched the video footage. I don't know about you guys. We watched the video footage. And after he puts 3 bullets in the woman,
yeah,
he then says, fucking bitch. Sorry, that don't sound like a man that's suffering from internal bleeding or just got ran over by a car.
It's completely against protocol.
100%. Standing in front of a vehicle.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Standing in front of a vehicle is against protocol.
Right.
It's against, you can look it up.
Yeah, it is.
It's in DHS
right.
For law enforcement that they are not to stand in. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's for all law enforcement that they should not be standing in front of a vehicle that has the potential to move.
ICE for sure. Like
100%.
ICE for sure. And then you got folks coming out saying anonymously that work in ICE, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much saying like, no, this is a cover up.
Yes, 100%.
This is a cover up, right? And I get it.
The fact that you called this woman a domestic terrorist 2 hours after the shooting, before an investigation even started, the woman didn't even like get pulled out of her car.
Yeah,
mind you, she had to get pulled out. They wouldn't let the ambulance, the first responders to the scene.
Yeah,
they had to fireman carry her the dead body because you could tell that woman died on impact.
Oh yeah.
That's why that car sped up.
Yeah.
And ran into another car.
Yeah, she was gone.
Yeah, she was, yeah. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
So, and not to say that we're making light of this woman's death. This was a traumatic death.
No, it absolutely
in every
was.
way, shape, or form. This should not have happened in any way, shape, or form. And you can sit there and say, fuck around and find out and all that shit. I don't know why. We can say it now, but when we say it when the fireman gets shot at the fucking Trump rally, then it's a problem. But now you guys are allowed to say, fuck around and find out. Or what, stupid choices, stupid consequences or some shit like that. Whatever the fuck you guys are promoting right now. Y'all were completely against political deaths now, but now you're like, well, you know, you're protesting, you're getting the ICE's way, then you got a means to catch a cap in the ass or whatever the fuck you fucking streamers are saying.
We know the hypocrisy is dead now.
Yeah, but we still gotta call it out.
Yeah.
I can't let you guys keep getting away with, you guys, you maggots. Can't let you guys keep getting away with spinning this narrative.
Yeah.
And thinking first of all, I can't let you think it's okay to do. But then I also can't let you think, like, get into the mindset of habitually doing it. That's the problem. It's like when you do it and then you don't even realize you're doing it.
Yeah. Overall, condolences to her family.
Correct.
I forgot what she had written on her Instagram post, but it was like, you know, the same stuff that
her title or her
it was just
caption.
Like it was like mother something.
Yes,
and
poet.
Yeah,
poet. I don't even know if she had activists in it.
I don't think she did.
She had she.
Yeah,
and therefore Fox News spun that motherfucker. Obviously, this is a liberal at the highest degree because she has she. I'm like, doesn't Instagram like almost force you to do that unless you kind of decline it?
Yeah. Listen, sure, okay. Maybe because she has that in her thing that her caption was she created and wrote, right? Maybe that does symbolize that she leans liberal. But so what? So what? What does that matter, right? We're here to talk about what ICE agents are able to do and what they're not able to do, right? And what they're doing right now, covering up this investigation, it kind of paints a picture for how things are going to go from this point forward.
Mm-hmm. And it's only going to ramp up.
Yeah.
It's only going to ramp up. The fact that I think, not even 24 hours ago, there was the ICE against protesters and the woman had to do CPR on her 6-month-old baby because they got hit with tear gas
Yeah.
because they were just trying to walk in the house.
Right.
Like,
And
no, but now you're getting to the point where ICE is now causing casualties from 6 months to 78 years old because of the 78-year-old who got her ribs cracked.
yeah.
So like
Yeah.
these I'm not anti-ICE. I'm anti-Trump's ICE, obviously.
Mhm.
So like ICE is a very good factor to have. Your immigration and customs enforcement. We need that.
When used properly.
Yes, correct.
Right.
But you strong arming cities at a time, and you're only doing it to blue cities. That's my problem.
The calculation was already made long time ago, back when they were trying to pass comprehensive immigration reform during Bush's terms.
Correct.
That we do not have the manpower to deport every single illegal immigrant. And at that time, we were like at 20 to 30 million undocumented immigrants.
I know that for a fact because when I was coming out of active duty, them motherfuckers was trying to recruit me for fucking ICE.
Yeah.
As soon as you tell them you're getting out of the active duty military, they're like, ICE is offering $26 an hour. And I'm like, nah, nigga, you can't afford me.
Yeah. and you know what? You also can't convince me that you give two damns about illegal immigration, right? Because not only is it damn near a non-factor statistically, right? When you had the opportunity to fix immigration, you let this man and Marco Rubio.
That's crazy. I fucking hate this nigga.
No, but it's true. Let's not forget, Marco Rubio was part of the Gang of Eight.
Can you use other names? Can we talk about Mike Johnson?
No, because he fits. Mike, what's there to talk about? Mike Johnson is the bottom. Right? Mike Johnson is, and I don't mean it in a sexual way.
Yes, he does.
I do not. I do not. Come on, get your mind out of the gutter.
Most of you maggots are bottoms. I'm gonna be honest.
It is. He is laying down and not standing up for anything.
If you're a maggot, you can't think for yourself.
Okay.
Therefore, you're a bottom. So,
No, if that's the way that he took it and he got offended by it, then maybe you should. That says something about you, because if you secure on your truth, then you.
MAGA is the bottom in the bedroom. Gonna throw that in a list of episode names, okay? MAGA is the bottom in the bedroom.
But if you would wake up,
maybe you'll be on top.
Hello. Sometimes it's that simple, but leave it to ignorance.
Mike Johnson is a bottom now. That's crazy. I never put two and two together until just
that
now.
man won't stand up for anything. He don't care nothing about Congress. Listen, I want y'all to think about this. The man accepted a deal that anybody, if they wanted to, in his conference, bring a challenge to him, that they would hold a new vote for Speaker of the House. Now, who in their right mind would agree to a deal like that?
I stopped trusting. Well, first of all, I never really trusted Mike Johnson, to be honest. But I definitely stopped trusting him when he said, "I'm going to vote for the bill, but I suggest the rest of you vote against the bill." When he was doing the Trump, the Epstein Transparency Act, I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
This nigga's tripping.
Yeah.
But this, again, the fact that they came out and said that she was a domestic terrorist 2 hours after the shooting, before the investigation even started, is crazy to me. Because this is why I fight so hard on the both sidesing. I don't have to do it with Javier because he's not an idiot. But a lot of people that be like, well, everybody does it. This is why I hate motherfuckers that say all politicians are bad. If you want to say that, that's fine. But there are degrees to bad, okay? Don't sit there and tell me a criminal's a criminal, therefore all criminals should do life. Yeah. If you steal, I don't think you should do life. Depending on how much you steal, actually. I'll make that adjustment. But if you steal $20 out of a cash register and not at gunpoint or anything like that, you just swipe $20 out of open cash register, you should do jail time. That is a criminal offense. Theft is bad. You should not do life for that. If you murder two people, put your ass in a hole and make sure you never see the light of day. There are degrees to bad. So I need you motherfuckers to stop saying all politicians are bad. There are degrees to bad. There are some politicians that are bad, and there are some politicians that are worse.
Well,
Donald Trump is your worst.
no, but isn't he though?
Marco Rubio is just bad.
We'll get to him. But you know what I'll just say on this is that Charlie Kirk was an American. So was the Air Force veteran who stormed the Capitol and got killed. And so is this woman, Renee Good. Right? Let's make sure that we understand that if there's something we want to fight for in this country, that we should all be given a fair chance to fight for it, right? So that means that law enforcement should be on all of our sides, right? And that you should be very disturbed when government and government officials, law enforcement, are being used to wrongfully kill American citizens. That woman was an American. Just the same way, like I said, y'all know and understand that Charlie Kirk and the woman who, the Air Force veteran who got killed at the Capitol because she stormed it, right, was an American. Nobody should have died, right? But if anybody was probably more in the wrong, was the woman at the Capitol, right? But y'all can't see the difference between her and Renee Good. So at this point, I think that I'm done trying to convince a certain set of people that when the law doesn't work out for one of us, it doesn't work out for all of us. But now that we're here knee deep in this fight, we're just gonna keep pushing forward.
I will give y'all some justification, okay? I will play the other side in this aspect, okay? If you think that police officer who felt like he was about to be ran over and had every right to shoot her, that is completely your right. But with that being said, you agree with me that January 6th should have been a fucking bloodbath.
Yeah.
You agree with me that dozens upon dozens, almost 100 people should have died on January 6th. If you're going to sit here and make this argument that ICE agent was justified in his killing of Renee Nicole Good, then you agree with me that a lot more people should have been killed on January 6th. Yeah. Because there were plenty of officers that were fearful for their life on that day. But obviously, they had restraint. They had conduct. Yeah. They had a code of honor. And that's why only Ashley Babbitt got taken out. And also, don't jump through a window and try to storm the Capitol. Yeah. But I'm not making light of her death, but I'm making a point here, okay? You agree with me. If you think this man was completely justified in his shooting of Renee Nicole Good, then you agree with me that more people should have caught bullets on January 6th. You don't get the both sides this. No, they don't. You don't get the pick and play where you want to fall in line and where you want to make your argument heard. Yeah. You're going to keep the same standard as far as I'm concerned. You talking to me, you're going to keep the same standard. More people should have died on January 6th. If you agree with the death, or not agree with the death, obviously, right. But if you feel the justification in the killing of Renee Nicole Good. Yeah. So.
And let's keep it consistent, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, no bullshit. That's why everybody from January 6th got pardoned. Yeah. Crazy how that works, right?
Yeah, yes it is. But this woman can't even get a fair investigation.
Yep. Okay. And then the fact that, I almost let it go. I almost let this one slide. The fact that up to almost 100 DOJ lawyers quit the DOJ because Pam Bondi told them to investigate Renee Nicole Good's wife instead of the police officer. Yeah. And them people were like, nah, we're good. The crazy part about it is, this is how fucked up Pam Bondi is, and this is why she's on my top 4 hated people in fucking this administration, was they told her no, we're not going to do this, and we're going to quit. But, excuse me, we're going to use the rest of our leave before we're done. And she said, no, you're not, because I'm firing you.
Real class act.
This woman has lost 3,000 employees since she became
From
the head of fucking the DOJ?
The Justice Department. Nobody said anything about dismantling the Justice Department. I thought it was just Department of Education, Department of State.
I want to remind you that Project 2025 is 51% complied with. Don't look at me crazy because I told you it was going to happen. So.
No, seriously.
Y'all looked at me crazy when I first said
memories.
it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. But yes, she's lost 3,000 employees at the Department of Justice since she became the boss. And then wants to make it seem like it's the liberals. No, bitch.
Yeah. No, what
I quit because poor management.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I'm not letting y'all both sides this. Y'all not going to play this game with me. If this officer, whose name I can't remember, but God forbid is taboo because Kristi Noem told us to stop saying his name because he's being doxxed too much. I could give a fuck regardless. For this officer, in your eyes, to be justified, then, again, January 6th should have been a fucking bloodbath. A lot of people should have died. Probably hundreds should have died on January 6th for the sake of if a police officer feels like his life is being threatened, he should put one bullet in the front and 2 bullets in the side open window.
Yeah.
Because let me remind you, there was 3 bullets that were shot. 1 was through the front windshield. The other 2 were through her driver's side window.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Also, Pam.
Oh God!
There's
a
a
first name basis. This should be good.
Pam, I was just gonna say, don't worry, there'll be an article of impeachment for you too.
Oh, 100%. She's first on the chopping block.
Yeah.
She is not with the whole Jeffrey Epstein, the Epstein Transparency Act. She is struggling right. She's fighting for her life.
And JD, unfortunately for you, and fortunately for you, you won't be. You're not first on the list for after Trump.
I'm be honest, JD Vance, you're not. He's not on first. The list.
He's on. You on the list?
No, you're not.
God,
JD Vance. Let me look.
Does he just gets to fade into obscurity?
JD Vance, mano, okay. Because I don't think you're the worst kind of guy. Okay, you call Trump Hitler, so I don't completely disagree with everything you say.
Yeah.
Okay, and let me remind you of this. Okay. The Republicans have already said that if you run, they're not backing you. They are saying that. You do not have the guaranteed 32 to 36% approval rating that Trump has, okay? You will never have that. You're uncharismatic as fuck. So regular people don't like you, okay? You have an Indian wife. So white supremacists don't like you. And you repeat and 100% back everything Trump says. So the 32 to 36% are the only people that like you. But obviously you have an Indian wife. So less than 32 to 36% like you. And you have no charisma. So even more less than 32 to 36% like you. So bro, you're not in the running, okay?
Remember when your boy Kanye was like, George Bush don't care about black people? I got one better. JD Vance gives MAGA the ick. He gives them the ick.
He makes their stomach turn.
You did all of that. Anything you need, Master Johnson. For what? For what exactly?
JD Vance, I don't see you winning another election in your own state. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no. JD gone.
I don't see you winning another election in your own state. I can't wait for these fucking midterms, bro.
Yeah, no.
I cannot wait.
It's going to be time to change your name and just go move somewhere.
It's a riot for me, obviously.
Most certainly a riot for me.
Yeah. Minneapolis, if there was anything I could say to you, keep up the good fight. Y'all are doing good. I'm loving watching y'all pour water on your fucking sidewalks. I am loving this shit, okay? I am loving watching y'all pour water on your sidewalks. and then I'm watching ICE walk up behind and slip.
The only
I am eating that shit up.
the
Be
only
honest.
the only thing I'm gonna say is, listen, y'all, because Minnesota is it's surprising the rest of the country, I think. But you know what? Minnesota has a history, right? And it doesn't matter whether you believe Minnesota is a blue state or red state. That we need to get that thinking out of there.
Mm-hmm.
What I want folks to do in Minnesota is, yes, at the end of the day, do what you believe is safe for you and your family, right? But you guys right now are ground zero.
Yep.
Right? And
Trump is sending 1,500 fucking U.S. Army members your way.
if they decide to fire off into a crowd, then the facts will be undisputable,
Mhm.
right? But stand together, because this is the time where we all need to stand together and take a stand. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it's happening right in your state. And your neighbors are being called fraud artists, and he's trying to pit you all against one another.
Yeah, you're all Somalians in Trump's eyes. Ain't that crazy?
Don't fall for it. Y'all the home of Prince, okay?
It's crazy.
Y'all the home of Prince, okay? Lake Minnetonka, all right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, listen,
Man's spitting though.
if you know anything about Prince, Prince ain't gonna sit down, okay? He might look like he's sitting down, but he ain't gonna sit down, okay? That man is on the forefront, representing Minnesota and Minneapolis all day, right? Y'all represent your state. Y'all stand together. Be safe, but also know that this isn't the time to back down.
Yes, 100%. But if you give up and you blow this under the wind and stuff like that, he's just going to move on to another state and do the same shit he's doing there. They want ICE to ramp up. They want ICE to get crazy. The pepper spraying in the face, all that shit, they don't give a fuck. ICE is going to do what they're being told. That's why they got hired into their job. I don't know if y'all seen that South Park skit of how they were recruiting ICE agents. It's fucking gold because it's fucking true.
If y'all end this with ICE right now, right, it'll save him from thinking he can go to other cities like Nelson said. Because right, what y'all are doing for ICE is y'all are saving them. Because when they think that they're going to go into Philly with this, right?
You don't want that.
We going to be
YN
missing
smoke.
some agents.
You don't want that YN smoke.
Y'all.
I told y'all this before. Them YNs is built different, bro. You're not spraying them with hot fire hoses and they standing there eating that shit to the chest. No, they are shooting back, bro.
And Philly has its own issues, drug issues and all. Like you be stepping over people to try to look for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Riot for me.
You go to your next topic.
Venezuela, power and precedent. Russia spent years bogged down in Ukraine. Billions spent, lives lost. No clear end. Meanwhile, the United States reshapes Venezuela almost overnight. No congressional vote, no declaration of war. That looks like strength. But strength without consent raises a different question. When power moves this fast, this quietly, this unchecked, is it time for a protest or is it time for a riot? Another riot. Surprise, surprise, right? So, first off, what did you change? You arrested his wife and him. I don't know what the wife did.
Yeah, arresting the wife was crazy.
But you left the rest of the governing body intact. The woman that's running Venezuela right now was part of his ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So what changed, right? I'm gonna go ahead and make this disclaimer for both of us because
exactly what changed.
Neither one of us are saying that Nicolas Maduro doesn't deserve to go to jail for stealing an election, for his corruption,
Agreed.
For violence against his own people.
Absolutely.
Authoritarian state.
Correct.
Right?
We can all come to an equal justification on that.
Right.
Now
so,
let's get into the actual problem.
No, let's hit it. You poor Russia, right? Y'all been, I'm not saying that Ukraine and Venezuela are on the same level, but Russia's been fighting Ukraine for years
their
now.
Life.
Right? When we thought that was going to end in a week, right? And I'm not sitting here trying to big up America as we're so powerful and we have the strength.
We're so strong.
But you know what? We are.
Yeah. Greatest military in the world.
That we're a part of.
Correct.
Took it in a night. Right? But
Was it 7? No. 7 injuries, 1 massive injury.
Yeah. And I know
no deaths, no casualties.
No casualties. And we bought back all of our equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I know that folks think this is a victory up front, right? But the man said that he is his only moral authority. He said that we were going to be there long term. Right? Those are his words.
Wikipedia says that Donald Trump is the acting president of Venezuela. That's what Wikipedia says. I don't know what the fuck America First means anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't want to be involved. I'm sorry, I stole this from you. I don't know what we don't want to be a part of other people anymore. If this is not a fucking repeat of war in the Middle East anymore,
yeah,
than where we are right now, I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is a repeat. The man is telling you. This is why I don't understand why a lot of you motherfuckers, I'm on 10 right now. I don't understand why you motherfuckers don't listen. Again, I heard what he said.
Yeah.
You heard what he said. Why is it clicking differently for both of us? This man is telling you he wants the oil. And even the fucking oil companies are telling you, nah, this ain't good oil.
Yeah.
It's sludgy. It requires too much processing. It costs way too much money to refine compared to what we'll make from it.
Because, otherwise they'd be right on it.
Correct. So when the oil companies are telling you, nah, this ain't a good move.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about?
You needed a distraction, right? We knew the Epstein files was here, right? So you needed a distraction, right? The problem is that every single Trump distraction digs him more into a hole than he was before.
100%.
Digs this country, more importantly, what I care about. I don't care about that man being in a hole. I hope he does go in the hole one day and stays there and never returns, right? But
in a video game,
he is dragging us down, all of us. But he's your hero, right? He looks strong in the moment, right? Because he did what we all knew was capable. Right? Did anybody have a single reservation about the ability of the United States military? I don't know what to tell you all, right? And maybe I'm a little numb to how ignorant you all and hard-headed you all have been, right? We're talking about the maggots, for sure, right? But here it is. This is just another example that folks can look at and be like, all right, I really don't know what's going on in this country. I'm talking about people that may have not been maggots, right, but still decided to vote for Donald Trump. Midterms are coming.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal.
Midterms are coming.
They will be shooting for impeachment. And arguably, the Republicans are talking about impeachment right now.
Talk about a mess. It is getting ready to be a mess.
The Republican said if he tries to take over Greenland, we will push for an impeachment. I don't know how this is your king anymore. I don't understand how you're not on the side of the No Kings movement. I don't understand how you don't, again, you motherfuckers hated, you maggots, you motherfuckers hated the war on terror that a Republican president put us in. Y'all hated that war, and y'all attacked Obama time and time again for us being in that war that a Republican president put us in. Y'all hated that shit.
Yeah.
And then we go and all you, even the worst of you motherfuckers, you conspiracy theorists,
Mm-hmm.
you motherfuckers was like, oh, it's all about the war. We're only in this war for the oil. We just want the oil.
Yeah.
We don't really care about regime change.
Yeah.
Trump is telling you to your face,
Right.
it's about the oil.
It's not a Dave Chappelle skit. This is real. It's real.
I don't know how you keep disconnecting this reality that is your day in and day out life.
And whatever authority exists now gets inherited later. That's what I'm thinking about, right? Because him circumventing Congress
Time and time again.
when we're already past the point of the executive branch making these kind of moves, like since George W. Bush, right? Being able to unilaterally move without the consent of Congress. Congress has been lazy, and it's been very dangerous.
Congress isn't lazy. Congress is scared. Half of Congress is scared. Half of Congress is outnumbered. I won't let you do that. The Republicans are scared of Trump. The Democrats are outnumbered by Trump's sycophants. So at the end of the day, that's why these midterms are going to be super fucking important.
Well, they got something to be scared about because Donald Trump isn't the problem, right? He's the symptom, right? He's the symbol, right? But you're also allowing a man to let his ego and his stupidity tank us, right? All in pursuit of something that you might not even get, that you're not going to get. I'm here to tell you that right now. You're not going to get that. White supremacy will not be achieved. We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
I don't know.
No, we'll get into that. Don't worry.
I'm not aiming for it, obviously.
No,
but
obviously not.
I'm scared of it.
Not. No, listen, I just think that we're missing we're missing our responsibility when Congress is not being a part of this. The Constitution always intended for Congress to be the most powerful branch, always. But when you elect people who are scared or feel too boxed in to take a position on anything, right? What does that leave? You leave all the power to whom? The executive branch.
To an extent. I think that also the fact that it was obvious. Everybody knows where this country is going next. There's no fucking way. I don't care who you are, who you think you are, or who you thought you might have been. There's no way in hell you can look at me in my face and tell me the next president is going to be a Republican president that's not Donald Trump. If you say Donald Trump might be the next president, I might give you some doubt because I stopped not believing what Trump says out of his mouth isn't going to come into fruition. Yeah. If Trump says he's going to run in 2028, I 100% believe that Trump is going to run in 2028. But if Trump is not your next president, you will not have a Republican president. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So when these Democrat president comes into place, there's a reason why they didn't rescind the fucking filibuster. When Trump was telling them to get rid of the filibuster, there's a reason why they didn't agree to that.
Yeah.
Because they know a Democrat's going to come into place and they know these Democrats are going to win this midterm.
Yeah.
And if you get rid of the filibuster, would they win I'm pretty sure the House is already slated to win democratically. Win on the Democratic side.
Even if they got rid of the filibuster, Donald Trump still has a veto. He has to have two-thirds of all of Congress. That means you need 75. I think you mean 75 members in the Senate. I think you need a certain majority in the House in order to circumvent him on a veto. That's probably not going to happen, right?
Correct.
But right, what you're going to see is Democrats positioning themselves to not only be the grown-ups in the room, but paint you a picture of what it's going to.
In the room.
Yeah, Democrats, they're grown-ups in the room, right? But they're going to paint the picture of them being able to move the country forward, and anything related to Trump being the past, and they can label anything they want being related to Trump, right? Because again, we're talking about moving the center now, right? Bill Clinton moved the center to the right. Now we have an opportunity to maybe move the center to the left.
Correct.
So that's the part I'm it's kind of excited to see how it's going to play out.
Which is hilarious that you say that, because I don't think, like, we talk about these sycophants and, like, not sycophants, the extremists. We talk about these extremists, and there aren't a lot of left-leaning extremists that are in power compared to the right.
No, because they have to fundraise.
Yeah. And nobody really supports left-leaning extremists
Yeah.
because their ideology is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you got your AOCs, your Bernie Sanders, and your Madanis, but none is a mayor, so it doesn't count.
I felt like the only person in the country who knew that Bernie Sanders was going to lose that primary when it got to South Carolina. Right? I felt like the only person who understood that.
I didn't have hopes for Bernie Sanders to begin with.
He won the first two, and the polls were looking good for him. Right? But that tells you where the Democratic Party is.
Yeah.
It can't escape corporate America. It can't escape Wall Street.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not going to be much support on the extreme left.
Sure. Right?
But we've come to an understanding that there will always be support 32 to 36. Okay? 32 to 60% will always support the extreme right.
And I want to talk about your boy Marco.
Oh my God!
Listen, because I was just listening to
my boy.
a segment on NPR about Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is extremely ambitious, extremely intelligent, shrewd, and will do anything he has to do in order to get where he wants to be. Right? Donald Trump asked Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio, mind you, is probably the most important foreign policy figure in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He is the Secretary of State and also the National Security Advisor.
Yep.
Right? And the only other position that he could have been, but it would have been illegal for him to be, is Secretary of Defense. So if he would have been all three, he would have been the undisputed foreign policy king.
Yeah.
Right? This man.
Wait, timeout. Would you have preferred Marco Rubio over P. Hegseth?
Being the Secretary of State? Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, Secretary of Defense.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Sure, right, sure.
Same page there.
Sure, right.
Pete sucks.
Yeah, it's the devil you know versus the one you don't, right?
True.
Yeah, I don't know. But only because Marco Rubio will land on the side that gets him what he wants.
Yeah.
Right? So if pleasing the generals and making sure that the military and defense apparatus was still intact, which all Republicans are supposed to be for, right? Then he would have catered to them, and then would have had another message for Donald Trump, right? Because did you see the interview when Donald Trump was addressing, like, he was talking to Chevron or something like that, or like,
he was talking to all the oil companies.
Yeah, and Marco Rubio passed him a note, and Dummy read the note out loud. Right? He read it out loud, like,
Dummy J. Trump.
Marco just passed me a note. He read it and it was just like, I don't know what this means. Well, like, what are you trying to say, or something like that? I'm just like, did you read the note? You wasn't supposed to read that out loud, by the way. But anyways,
that's your president, guys.
He's not that smart. But he's also old.
I'm gonna look out this window.
What Marco is, though, Marco is positioning himself to be whatever he needs to be to try to rebuild the Republican Party. And he told Donald Trump, because Donald Trump asked him, Donald Trump asked him, he said, what is going to be your baby as Secretary of State, right? And what did Marco Rubio say? He said Latin America.
Yeah.
Right? That's very pointed and it's very deliberate.
Which is hilarious because of his ethnicity itself. I mean, his name's Marco Rubio.
He's Cuban.
Yeah.
He's Cuban American. And his parents left before Castro came in, by the way. But even people who know Marco Rubio, right, they were pretty much saying that out of all his mentors and people that he came up with through politics, it pretty much said he's abandoned everything that they taught them.
100%.
Right? And that they taught him. And he's almost unrecognizable at this point to them. Yep. Right?
Latinos for Trump.
He doesn't identify. He'll identify as anything he needs to be, right? He will be a perceived sycophant.
They all will. Stop making this about Marco Rubio.
No,
they all will.
Marco Rubio
all ran against Trump.
The best,
and then as soon as Trump won,
the best and most popular politicians. When people think of, like, just based off statistics, right, have conviction. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, even George W. Bush, right? Who's getting a better rewrite now.
I agree with that, but the difference is like all these Republicans did it. Let's not forget what's the name. Ron DeSantis was against Trump.
Sure.
Fucking J.D. Vance called him Hitler. Like they were all against Trump until they had to fall under his wing. Don't make this about Marco Rubio. This is the Republican Party.
None of them have the ambition level that Marco Rubio has. Trust me on that. This man is shrewd. He's dangerous. Marco Rubio is dangerous. This man torpedoed his own bill. Him being part of the Gang of Eight when they were doing that comprehensive immigration bill, right? Before he decided to run for president, right? And be against his own bill to torpedo it. He had Lindsey Graham and John McCain, God rest his soul, hating him for doing that. Yeah. And mind you, him even being part of the Gang of Eight while being a freshman senator was a big honor. You don't get to move that fast, except if you're Barack Kennedy.
You mad at a nigga for having goals?
No, I'm saying his level he is dangerous, and I recognize that level of ambition, right? And that
you make him sound like you stop. You're making him sound like he's worse than Trump.
He is worse than Trump.
There ain't no fucking way Marco Rubio's worse than Trump. Ain't no fucking way Marco Rubio's worse than Trump.
He is.
He's not.
He is. He's a lot more dangerous.
Let me remind you why younger. We are in the state that we are in right now.
The man is younger.
It's not Marco Rubio's fault.
Donald Trump ain't never been that smart.
Bro.
He ain't never been that shrewd. He might have matched his ambition at one point. Right. But don't get it twisted. The fact that this man will be whatever he needs to be at the end of all of this, right? And be in the best position.
But you're saying
out of
that,
everybody.
I can understand that 100%. But that only makes sense if you're a follower. If you're the leader, then you're going to be exactly what you need to be. Which means a man of the people.
Marco Rubio's is because he's not a 100% sycophant, and you could tell.
I know that. That's why I say Marco Rubio is the only person in the room that knows he's going to hell because he's not a 100% sycophant.
Look at his body language when Donald Trump had
Zelensky.
He
hates when that nigga talks.
Yeah.
He's not a 100% sycophant.
I'm saying he's moving strategically.
100%.
Right, in a way that's I haven't seen in a long time from anybody, any politician.
But I told you that's how it's going to be running into these midterms and everything after the midterms is everybody's going to have to start unaligning themselves with Trump. When 2028 comes around and Marco Rubio attempts to run for president again, because he's going to sit there and say, I didn't agree with anything that person said.
He's the only department head telling Congress, telling military leaders all one thing. Right,
telling so crazy because he has me over here defending Marco Rubio.
Telling other world leaders one thing.
He has me defending a member of the Trump administration.
And then going on camera when he's around Donald Trump and saying another thing. This man is dangerous.
They all do it. Stop doing that. They all do it.
No.
J.D. Vance called this nigga Hitler, and J.D. Vance is Donald Trump's strongest advocate.
Drunk Pete's level of sycophant is unmatched.
But hold on. Pete has always been that way.
Sure.
But J.D. Vance was against this nigga, and there's no bigger fan in Congress other than J.D. Vance.
My point is none of them have the potential the way that Marco Rubio has, right?
Agreed. But I agree with you.
That makes him more dangerous in my eyes.
Marco Rubio is not going to win anything under the guise of Donald Trump.
This is the natural conclusion of MAGA.
Oh my gosh.
He gets to be.
You think Marco Rubio's J.D. Vance? You think Marco Rubio is going to continue MAGA?
I think he'll continue whatever he needs to continue. Right? It's not going to be. My point is, it's not going to be any MAGA.
You're supposed to.
There's not going to be any MAGA for him to continue. And what I'm saying is that he hopes, because he's so forgettable, right? He is very forgettable. That he can rebrand and it could almost be like Marco Rubio was part of the Trump administration. That's the part that's scary. That's what makes him dangerous. Nelson might not be watching you, but I'm watching you. Marco Rubio, I am on your behind. Pause. I am watching you. You are on my radar.
I told him one time that I told this motherfucker one time that I was like, yeah, Marco Rubio would have been my Republican candidate out of all the Republican candidates. This motherfucker ain't let it go since.
And
Ain't that crazy?
And it ain't gonna happen.
Yes,
And
Marco Rubio will be whatever he needs to be. So if he's a president, I have more faith in him being a person for the people than I do Trump.
Marco Rubio, you almost fooled me. You've been off my radar, and nobody that's worth being.
I hate this nigga.
On my that's worth being on my radar is not on my radar. But you slipped past my radar. I'm watching you. And Nelson you can blame him because he brought you up.
I did.
He brought you up.
He's holding my feet to the fire on this one.
And that's when I started. And I'm not the only one. You're not the only one that needs to thank Nelson, right? I thank Nelson because you showed up on my radar, right? It's not even about Nelson anymore. It's about me and you. You on my radar. And you're not gonna slip past me. I'm not gonna forget.
Marco Rubio. If Trump runs in 2028 and you run in 2028 and it's down to you two, I will support you over Trump. And I want to hear Javier say the same thing.
I'm not even going to vote in y'all primary. So
if you don't have a choice, okay?
In Virginia, we have open primaries, but you're not allowed to vote twice in two different primaries, right? You pick one primary and you vote in it. I'm not voting in the Republican primary.
Pick? Donald Trump or Marco Rubio?
I'm not voting in their primary.
Shut up. Who, hypothetically,
what do you mean?
Who would you pick? Marco Rubio or Donald Trump?
So I'm going to give up my chance to pick a Democrat. The one that I want to see in the White House, right?
Hypothetically, if you had to pick between Marco Rubio and Donald Trump, who would you pick?
What are you talking about?
I'm asking you a hypothetical question.
They're not even going to be on the same ballot.
I'm asking you a hypothetical question. He don't want to say it because he knows what the answer is.
Nah.
Who are you picking?
I'm not voting for either one. I'm not voting for either one of you. I know, because I know how evil you are. Listen, you know what?
Because you know what the answer is. The answer is in Rubio.
Listen, at least I know Donald Trump will be on his way out, like permanently. Like
we don't know that.
No.
We don't know that.
Donald Trump is not Nelson
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller.
Talking about ending the elections right now.
I know one thing. If y'all get this organ regeneration right, please do not let Donald Trump get any of that. Okay. That's what he's saving up for.
For any of you niggas that ever said we don't disagree enough.
Yeah, we.
I want to answer my question. Hypothetically,
Marco Rubio is his boy. And because he showed up on my radar,
that maggot level fucking narrative spin he doing right now.
He showed up on my radar.
Hypothetical question.
I ain't gonna answer it. I'm not gonna. I plead the fifth. I'm not gonna answer it. You wanna know why I'm not gonna answer it? Because I don't want either one of them, right? But if I had to choose, I'm not choosing either one of them. I have another option. It's not about me having to choose. I don't have to choose. I can vote in the other primary. Now, listen. Now, if he had changed the narrative and been like, "Oh, what if Virginia allowed you to vote in both primaries?" Then I'm gonna vote for Donald Trump. I want to vote for the weaker candidate.
This motherfucker.
See what I did there?
That, right?
You see what I did there?
I'm clipping that shit.
You can clip it all day.
Y'all heard him say he voted for Donald Trump.
If I was allowed to vote in both primaries, right, which I'm not, I would want the Republicans to have the weaker candidate. Donald Trump is the weaker candidate. Marco Rubio is dangerous. That Negro is dangerous.
How do you say colored person in Spanish?
Well, black is negro.
Yeah, that's black though. How do you say colored person?
I don't know. Clarito.
Marco Rubio, I will support you over Donald Trump. I think you're the most sane person in the Trump administration. I think you're all a bunch of idiots, but I think you're the least idiotic in the Trump administration. And the competition is steep.
Venezuela was the wrong move.
I agree.
It was definitely the wrong move.
I think the Venezuela, I can't put the Venezuela on Marco Rubio. Donald Trump told you he talked to the oil execs before he talked to the reporters about what he gave the oil execs the heads up that he was going to kidnap this motherfucker before he did it.
Marco Rubio orchestrated all of that. All of it. If Donald Trump was to take claim for it, cool. Marco Rubio is absolutely content with having him do that, right? Because when this fails, and it will fail, right? Guess who's going to try to pin this on Marco Rubio? That's going to be Donald Trump,
yeah,
right?
100%.
But
American people
Marco Rubio has proven very formidable, right? Right? If we can go back to the primaries, Marco Rubio was the one going toe to toe with Donald Trump. The rest of them were scared.
Agreed.
So he'll find a way to weasel himself out of this, right, and position himself as the victim and then the hero.
All I heard out of this nigga was, don't chase your dreams because he's gonna find you a dangerous candidate. Don't follow your dreams, y'all. Okay.
No, follow your dreams, unless it has to do with evil world,
Unless it has to do with foreign policy.
or even an evil world takeover for your own ambition and ego. God, what are you? Again,
I don't know why.
The viewers should be questioning why is it that I'm talking about his ambition like this, and why is it that I can recognize the ambition, right? But don't worry, I'm not that ambitious. I won't sell my soul. But your boy will. But your boy will.
It's a riot for me.
Riot for me too.
You want to go do your monologue so we say bye to these free niggas?
Yeah.
Episode 6. We will see y'all next month for episode 7. Because I'm pretty sure. Oh, we'll be doing that next episode after the State of the Union address.
Yeah.
We gotta wait for the State of the Union address, so do not expect an episode before that. State of the Union is scheduled. It's supposed to be on President's Day. But I think he's scheduling it for the 20. Mike Johnson's trying to get Trump to schedule for the 24th.
Yeah.
Instead.
We might be furloughed, by the way, too.
Bro. Oof. You say that. But being furloughed by the 4th week of February is crazy. But we might be furloughed.
I hope y'all saved up this time, knowing that there was a deadline coming up January 31st.
Y'all got to start saving up every fucking CR.
Every quarter.
Yep.
Every quarter.
So, I'll let the monologue out and see you niggas on the way. Catch y'all in episode 6, except the Patreons. I will see y'all in about 5 minutes.
Lately, it feels like we're a country that keeps showing up to the forest and argue about individual trees. We argue about whether a shooting was justified, whether a protest went too far, whether a label was applied too fast enough to make us feel morally comfortable. We argue about whether a foreign policy move was strong or reckless, whether tariffs are leverage or bullying, whether power was used the right way. But we almost never stop to ask, what kind of system keeps producing these moments over and over again? Because when you zoom out, and I mean really zoom out, a pattern starts to emerge. At home, narratives get locked in before facts can even breathe. Abroad, power moves fast, without friction, because speed has started to pass for legitimacy. And that brings me to Venezuela. Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio has made Latin America his defining project. Venezuela isn't a side issue for him. It's his lane, his legacy play. What looks impulsive from the outside is carefully architected. And this is where people miss the hierarchy of threats. J.D. Vance gives MAGA the ick. Grievance without a future. But Marco Rubio is something else entirely. He's positioning himself to be whatever he needs to be in order to survive whatever comes after Trump. To be standing there when MAGA burns itself out, ready to rebrand, rebuild, and reintroduce himself as the adult in the room. That adaptability is ambition. And ambition, when paired with concentrated power, is never neutral. But foreign policy doesn't exist in a vacuum. It reflects what's happening at home. That's why I keep coming back to something W.E.B. Du Bois warned us about after Reconstruction. A society can deny people material security and real dignity and still maintain loyalty by compensating them with status instead. And here is a distinction that helped me think about this differently. The concept of white supremacy describes an outcome, but white narcissism describes the motivation. You see, supremacy sounds like confidence, dominance, control, certainty. But what actually sustains it is fragility, insecurity, a belief that you're entitled to be the center of everything. That's why it lashes out when challenged. You don't need supremacy if you're secure. You only need it when your sense of self depends on never being questioned. And that's exactly where status steps in to replace dignity. Now, zoom out for me one more time. In The Fourth Turning, William Strauss and Neil Howe argue that societies move in long cycles, roughly 80 years, and that each cycle ends in a crisis that institutions can no longer manage. History doesn't repeat itself perfectly. That's because agency now matters, and technology changes the terrain. But the struggle is familiar. The American Revolution, about 80 years later, the Civil War, about 80 years after that, World War II. Each crisis looked different, but each forced the country to reorganize itself. And that's why people are afraid of the word woke. They've been told it means abandoning American values, that it's a Trojan horse for unqualified people taking places they don't belong. That lie works because it shields one thing some people were always guaranteed: the social wage that W.E.B. Du Bois warned us about. And here's the part we don't say enough. People behind things like Project 2025 aren't stupid. They read, they plan, they understand power. But they're trying to shortcut democracy to lock in outcomes without buy-in. And that's the mistake. Because in a democracy, what lasts isn't what you force, it's what people accept. Social Security lasted. The New Deal lasted. Even the Affordable Care Act refuses to die because people rely on it. That's the real fight. Not speed, not domination, legitimacy. And here's where I actually feel hopeful. In The Fourth Turning, Strauss and Howe argued that every crisis cycle produces a hero generation. A generation shaped by instability, raised during breakdown, and forced to rebuild what others took for granted. In this cycle, that generation is millennials. A lot of us were raised by parents from the silent generation. No nonsense, disciplined, old school, in the best and hardest ways. We inherited that work ethic, but we combined it with the adaptability, skepticism of broken systems, and a willingness to challenge conventional wisdom. We grew up in survival mode, economic crashes, endless wars, and institutional failures. So we learned how to endure, how to improvise, how to rebuild. And according to the theory, what comes after a crisis isn't collapse, it's reconstruction, a period of stability and shared prosperity. But only if the generation shaped by chaos is willing to do the hard work of reforming institutions instead of burning them down. That's the choice in front of us. Because when you grow up in crisis, you don't romanticize order. You understand what it cost. And that experience doesn't make us reckless. makes us capable. So the question isn't whether this country can be saved. It's whether the people shaped to save it are willing to step fully into that responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the forest. Everything else is just the trees. I'm Javier. That's my 2 cents.
I'm Nelson. Catch you on the next episode. Peace, 9DS subscribers.
Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right, far right, far right.
Protest, protest, protest. Protest, protest, protest.
If he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.